I remember the day it all began, a cloudy afternoon that held the promise of rain. My curiosity had been piqued by the rumors swirling around the local Target store. Whispers of strange occurrences, unexplained sounds, and eerie shadows had captured my attention, and I couldn't resist the urge to investigate. As I stepped into the store, a sense of unease washed over me. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting an unnatural pallor over the aisles. The air seemed heavy, laden with an unidentifiable scent that sent shivers down my spine. Ignoring the nagging feeling in my gut, I pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. The first oddity I encountered was in the toy section. A doll, eyes wide and glassy, stared at me from the shelf. I could have sworn its head turned ever so slightly as I walked by, but I brushed it off as a trick of my imagination. The store was eerily quiet, the usual bustling of shoppers conspicuously absent. I wandered deeper, finding myself in the electronics aisle. The screens of the TVs on display flickered in unison, showing distorted images of static and vague shapes. A cold draft brushed against my skin, despite the temperature being perfectly normal. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Moving on, I ventured into the grocery section. The shelves were stocked, but the products seemed off. Cans were dented, boxes crushed, and an eerie silence hung in the air. The hum of refrigerators was barely audible, and I could almost hear my own heart beating in response to the growing sense of dread. My investigation led me to the back of the store, where the stockroom lay. The door creaked open as I stepped inside, and my flashlight illuminated the shelves upon shelves of merchandise. But something was amiss. The shadows seemed to dance and twist, forming grotesque shapes that sent my heart racing. A distant whisper echoed through the stockroom, and I spun around, my breath catching in my throat. There, at the end of the narrow aisle, a figure stood. Its features were obscured by the dim light, but its eyes glowed an unnatural shade of crimson. My voice failed me as the figure stepped closer, its footsteps muffled by the carpeted floor. "Who are you?" I managed to croak, my voice betraying my fear. No response. The figure continued its relentless approach, each step sending ripples of dread through my body. I stumbled backward, my heart pounding in my chest, desperately searching for an escape route. But the stockroom seemed to stretch endlessly, the walls closing in on me. I turned and fled, my footsteps echoing through the empty store. Panic fueled my movements as I raced past the aisles, each corner turned revealing more unsettling sights, shelves collapsing on their own, products flying off the shelves, and distant whispers growing louder, a cacophony of haunting voices. As I burst through the entrance, the sky outside had darkened considerably, casting an eerie glow over the parking lot. But what awaited me was even more chilling. The Target store seemed to stretch infinitely in all directions, an impossible labyrinth. It was as if the store itself was alive, a malevolent entity toying with my sanity. Tears of frustration and fear welled in my eyes as I stumbled forward, the ground beneath me shifting and warping. The store seemed determined to keep me trapped within its nightmarish embrace, but I refused to succumb. With a surge of determination, I pushed forward, ignoring the disorienting surroundings. Hours, or maybe only minutes, passed in that warped reality. Exhausted and disoriented, I suddenly found myself standing back at the entrance of the store, as if I had never left. Gasping for breath, I stumbled out into the parking lot, the rain finally beginning to fall. As I looked back at the Target store, its facade appeared ordinary once more. No malevolent figures, no unsettling shadows, just a regular store. But I knew the truth. The horror that lurked within those walls was real. It was a place where reality twisted and fear reigned, a place that would forever haunt my nightmares. To this day, I can't shake the memories of that twisted, otherworldly Target store. The experience left me scarred, a witness to darkness that defied explanation. And I can only hope that no one else falls victim to the store's sinister secrets.